Piercing hard objects by using bow and arrow was called darb in Ottoman Turkish, and it was considered to be a skill in archery, especially if it comes to piercing glass objects. And the target was usually a lantern or the glass part of the oil burning lamps, called şişe in Old Turkish. Now we are using the term for bottle in modern Turkish. So, but we know that other glass objects were also used for that purpose, and there are solid indicators of that, like the examples saved in the military museum. There are a few glasses that were pierced by arrows, and the arrows are still on them.
Piercing a glass without shattering it completely was a trick shot which was popular among the Ottomans, and obviously it is about the control of the initial oscillation of the arrow, which practically provides better penetration on the target. So it is not about hitting a certain score on the paper face, as it would be a goal for the modern target archer. It should have been a killing arrow actually, which should have had less oscillation. So anyway, as a trick shot, it was performed. Almost a year ago, Kerem did that with a Korean bow, and without shattering the whole glass, he punched a hole at the bottom of it. And this is the same glass, and today I did the same trick. And we used, this time I used an early Turkic bow, a Selçukyan bow here.
Becerdim çocuklar.
Okay. Now you really witnessed the first try of a trick shot, which is piercing a glass without shattering. This is actually a motif that you can find in the courtal poems as well, which refers to the beloved who make the lovers suffer from bad behavior. Okay, so this is actually what the poets used as a metaphor, referring to that kind of behavior of the beloved one, and the suffering has been so well regulated that it does not crack the heart of the lover, but pierce it. Here you see it.
The Oriental poetry was full of metaphors, and using this trick as a metaphor was not limited with that relationship between the lover and the beloved one, so not limited by this bitchy attitude of the beloved one. I don't know why it came to my mind under the excitement of this accomplishment of mine, but there are some other beautiful metaphors based on this archery trick shot.
Aşk bazarı, or market of love, was a term used in Islamic esotericism, or tasawwuf as it's called in Anatolia. The term refers to a godly love, which is got by each individual as much as he or she needs, can see, prefer, or effort. Exactly like a person who is strolling around on a marketplace and looking for his or her needs. Like other examples of Eastern literature, these poems are usually multi-layered, and this love could be both godly or secular, so a love felt for a person. Another example of the use of this trick shot as a metaphor, the impact of the beloved one is described as an arrow that passes through two lanterns, not only one, a trick shot that could be performed hardly, if not at all.
And interestingly, we didn't use too heavy balls. So if you control the oscillation quite well, you can penetrate even such very hard objects with no problem. What was the draw weight of the ball? Can you remember that? Okay, 43 pounds of draw weight, and this bow is almost 40 pounds of draw weight at my draw. So as you see, of course, we used bodkin heads, a heavy arrow, but the rationale of this trick is controlling the initial oscillation. The shot of Kerem was probably from a little bit farther distance, 10 metre var mıydı? About 10 meters. I shot today from 5 meter distance. So, and we are saving these as the solid signs of achievement here, as the Ottoman archers did for their achievements like that. In the military museum's collection today, you can see glasses pierced like that with arrows. So here we are establishing our own museum collection as well.
Here you see some examples of darb targets that are being saved in the military museum in Istanbul. Here you see a bronze bell that had been pierced by an arrow and glasses that had been shot through. And as you see, the skill here in shooting glass objects is piercing the target without shattering it.
In old times, it is mentioned in the old archery treatises that bodkins used for these kind of tricks were hardened. This is a modern steel. I don't know the hardness degree of this, because this is provided by Barış Ulutaş, the ARK technique, very similar to the old Ottoman ones, but of course a modern steel was used. But despite the possibility that this steel is much more harder than a steel that would have been forged in the past, you see the deformation at the very tip after having shot the bottom of the glass.